So on the way into town, I had to go by the wharf. I stopped in, spent 15 minutes, caught 2 squid. They look like this. They're Norwegian squid. They're almost like a torpedo. That's a small Norwegian. And this one is another Norwegian. The Newfoundland squid are half the size. Now I've caught them that long, about 2 footers, but it's still not time yet for squid. No one in town has caught them. I've caught about 60, 70 squid already. In just a few minutes I catch what I'm going to eat and come home. So I'm going to show you how to make squid chips. It was a happy accident, although at the time I didn't think so, but we'll go from here and I'll show you what I do. First we'll clean the squid. I'm gonna put a bucket for all the entrails and stuff, right? And a lot of people do them with these torture devices. They shove it in, pull out the guts. That's not really effective. And it really only is when you want to stuff the squid bodies. So here, see the squid's eyes? Right in front of the eyes. You cut the tentacles off. I'm going to move the tentacles over to this side. Once again, there are the eyes. Right in front of the eyes. Now, just so you know, that's the squid's beak. So you push it through, that's the squid's beak, and you throw it out. I'll do the other one more time so you can see it, right? You push it through, you grab the beak, right? I cut that one right through the beak. So now here, you gotta take out the guts. Since I'm making chips, I just cut down the belly. Now I'm disabled and it usually takes me about 10-15 seconds when I'm not talking. And there's hardly a time where I'm not talking. You grab it by the remaining part of the head. You pull it off. That's going in the bucket. Now, see that? That's the quill inside the squid. That's for a Norwegian about average size, maybe a little bit smaller, in the bucket. Now this will wash thoroughly because we still have to skin it, but I'm just going to put it there for now. Again, grab the scissors, up through the belly, right to the tail. Grab it by the head. See that little fish? That's the size that they eat. That little fish right there. So, out go the guts. And we got to get the quill. Now this one was a female because these are egg sacs. I mean, you can't tell the difference, or at least I cannot. I'm not a biologist, marine biologist. I can't tell the difference. But now we're going to spray ourselves with the remaining part of the ink, which I always say I'm going to drain the ink before I start taking the skin off. I never do, and I get a face wash of squid ink. It's good for the complexion, but I mean, it gives you like a mini tan, that dark ink. Like, I mean, squid ink is what people used to write with back in the day. You know, with those fancy quill pencils or pens. Sorry, but I gotta get rid of the squid ink is something fierce. Okay, you keep the water running, all right, and you just scratch with your nail until you get underneath it. And then you let the water help you to peel it off. Normally it comes all in one shot. See that? But I am disabled, so everything I do takes 10 times longer than I usually did back in the day. Now these are the wings. Everybody normally tears them off, but I'm going to make chips out of them, so there goes one. This one's a female, so it's giving me trouble. For some reason, all females give me trouble. Okay, there it is. One clean squid, which we're going to take care of in a minute. This is a male, it doesn't have the egg sacs. I'm just cleaning it up a little bit. Flip it over, go to the top. This is like the neck, and start to just go with your nail, scratch it, and the water will help you get underneath the skin. Of course, I'm doing it for the video, so I'm like rushing to show you how easy it is, and it's taking longer than it should. See how that comes off? Now the other side, normally it all comes off at once, but because I'm on camera, Poseidon decided to give me a kick in the huevos. Now all that stuff that's in the bucket goes out the back porch and the seagulls come and eat it. So there's like nothing goes to waste. And whatever the seagulls don't eat gets absorbed back into the earth. Now, I've caught squid in my life, but I never prepared it until 5 years ago when I bought this place. And I went squid fishing. And then had to learn how to make it. And of course, not knowing anything about anything, I messed up everything. So now we're going to put the two sections plus the tentacles, but the way I prepare the tentacles, remember when I pulled out the beak, it opens up the center. So I cut them open, and then I cut them again. Here, people throw them away. I think the tentacles are the tastiest part of the squid. So now, the mistake I made that turned out to be awesome is they're from the ocean. The ocean's salty. So put some salt, good liberal shake, and fill it up with cold water. Then, I laid on the couch and fell asleep for about a half an hour. And when I came back and I tried to make them the way everyone's told me to make them, they were like rubber. Normally squid you cook for 30 seconds to a minute and a half, and that's it. And you don't soak them in salt. So now I've got this rubbery thing. What do I do with it? Okay, cook it longer. So I cooked it for 10 minutes, less rubbery. Cooked it for 15 minutes, almost not rubbery and crunchy. 18 to 20 minutes, they turned into the crunchiest chips ever. So I'm going to let them soak like this for about 20 minutes to a half an hour. And then I'll come back, I'll show you how to cut it up to make chips. Alright? See you then. Okay, so I zoomed in like this so you can see what I'm doing. These are the tentacles, right? Now these are the wings. And the wings, you rip off. But put them to the side. Woo. One tentacle tried to get away. Sometimes they peel off easier than others. Don't worry, it's all going to get fried up. I don't know why I can do this side pretty easy, but the other side is a little bit more difficult. Oh, look at that. Okay, now with the scissors, we're going to cut down the middle 3/4 of the way, and then we're going to cut across. And one more time. And then we're just going to cut these into chips. The wings, same thing. Remember the body, on the inside you got a line. Just follow the line 3/4 of the way down. Cut it off. Cut again. Escapee. Scissors work the best. You can use a knife, but for me, scissors seem to be the best for me. Now you got to set your frying pan to number 6. And the wings, I just cut them in half. This one maybe twice. You don't have to salt them because they've been soaking in salt water for 20 minutes. Now this will go into the frying pan covered for 5 minutes and then uncover for 15. I have to resituate the camera, so I'll be back. Okay, so we're ready to go into the pan. Set at number 6, maybe just a little bit past it or before it. That oil is ready to go. And we just place our squid chips inside, or our squid inside. No need to be shy. Move them around a little bit. And because I have a tendency to forget, I'll just set the timer for 5 minutes. And this will cook for 5 minutes covered. After 5 minutes, we'll take the lid off and continue from there. See you soon. Okay, so the timer went off. They're looking good. Now we're going to cook them for 15 minutes with the lid on. But I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes. And check them once in a while. But they should just keep going. With the lid on, keeps the steam from the bodies of the squid in. Now we let the steam out. We let all the moisture come out, and they fry up super crispy. 10 minutes, lid off. It's 20 minutes, so 5 minutes lid on. I set the timer for 10 minutes because I want to check them, right? And we'll see you in 10 minutes. Okay, so I put the lid back on, but cracked so the steam can get out the back. I'm going to turn this off. And then I'm gonna set the timer for 5 minutes. Whoa, 5 minutes. Now I'm going to close the lid, give it a shake, right? And then you see the steam coming off, right? And that's for 5 minutes. You need the lid on because they snap, crackle, pop, and oil can go everywhere. Safer after the first 5 minutes with the lid on, then 10 minutes with the lid off, and then the last 5 minutes with the lid on but cracked so the steam can get out, but the splatter doesn't hit you or anything. Better be safe. Now with 10 seconds to go, turn on the burner or the element or whatever you have, type of stove you have. Okay, that's the full 20 minutes. Very important, use the lid as a shield. These things pop. As you can see, now they gotta cool down. This is like molten lava. You try to pop one of these in your mouth, straight to the hospital. Now as you can see from that pearly white, it's darkened, and I added some secret seasonings, which I'm not going to tell you because they're my secret. But maybe if I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll tell you the secret, that spices that go on this. So we got to wait for it to cool down. See you in a while. Okay, that's it. They're done. So I'll put some on a plate. Tentacles. And bodies. More tentacles. All right. So I'll bring them over. I gotta move the chair. Always gotta move the chair. Okay. This is what they look like. Squid chips. You hear the crunch? Look good. And now the body. I know I say it all the time, but this is nearly the best squid chips I ever made. Because I'm leaving back home next week, 4,000 kilometers, I didn't use, normally I use vegetable oil, but I gotta use up the olive oil. There's a distinct peppery undertone. Tentacles. They're way better than French fries, potato chips, 0 calories, 0 carbs, all protein. Natural, caught a couple of hours ago off the wharf, right out of the ocean. Can't get better than that. Look at that chip. That is a squid chip. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.